What does the phrase Son of Man mean? Hey everybody, I'm Dan McClellan. I'm a scholar of the Bible and religion. And this phrase is found throughout the Hebrew Bible and the New Testament. Here's a graph showing hits per 1,000 words. As you can see, it's concentrated in the book of Ezekiel in the Hebrew Bible and in the Gospels in the New Testament. Now, in the Hebrew Bible, it's not a title. It's just a phrase that means a human or a mortal. It's part of a linguistic convention that we find in Semitic languages where you can refer to someone as a member of a group by calling them a son or a daughter of that group. So in Genesis 6, we have the B'nai Elohim, the sons of God, who become interested in the Benot Adam, the daughters of humanity or of man. So that's a way of referring to gods and referring to human women. When the people ask, is Saul among the sons of the prophets? It's a way of saying, is Saul a prophet? So the Hebrew Ben Adam, son of man, just means a human. And it's concentrated in the book of Ezekiel because the author is having God repeatedly emphasize this contrast between Ezekiel's human mortal nature and God's divine nature. Now in Daniel 7:13 we have this phrase where Daniel says, I saw a dream in the night, one like a son of man came with the clouds to the Ancient of Days. And this is Aramaic, Bar Enosh. It's being used to mean a member of that group. So it's basically a way for the author to say, I saw someone who looked human, who came to the Ancient of Days. But when this gets translated into Greek, particularly the Old Greek, a couple of interesting things happen. Now first, in Greek, we have huios anthropou, which literally means son of man, but this isn't a convention in Greek. So it doesn't make a whole lot of sense in Greek, which is what contributed to it becoming a title because it was unusual. It wasn't as easily understood in Greek. But something else in the Old Greek is interesting. The Greek does not say the one like a son of man came to the Ancient of Days, heos. It says the one like a son of man came hos, as the Ancient of Days. And so this translation, whether intentional or otherwise, seems to conflate the identities of the Son of Man and the Ancient of Days. And this contributes to these kind of traditions about intermediary figures within Greco-Roman period Judaism who manifest the divine presence, who bear the divine name, who exercise God's authority. And so by the time we get to the New Testament, Son of Man is actually a more divine title than Son of God, because Son of God is kind of riffing on the Greco-Roman notion of the emperor as a son of God. But Son of Man is riffing on the Greco-Roman Jewish notion of some kind of intermediary figure who is divine and who in some sense bears God's authority and manifests God's presence. So the title Son of Man used of Jesus is a more exalted title within the Gospels than even the title Son of God. But because it's being used in Greek rather than Aramaic or Hebrew, it's not a recognized conventional way to refer to a member of that category. It becomes a title. And so in the New Testament, Son of Man is specifically a reference to this tradition about this intermediary figure. And the fit for this video is Wolverine in his correct costume.